Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me once again as we look to the horizon. It has been a minute, and I apologize for that. I have been busy writing, and you know, on the nights when I would usually record this, I've been kind of looking in other directions, sorting out projects, or just doing kind of regular life stuff. I've had a couple of fix it things to do around the house, and I've had really good weather the last couple of weeks, so I have taken some time after work to putter around outside a bit, and I'm afraid it's kept me away from the recording studio as it is a little bit. So, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I have been busy. If you follow my blog, of course, you know the Sidereal Saga is coming out on schedule, and the writing continues pretty much apace. I think that's going pretty well. Um, the other big thing was I submitted to Anvil Magazine again for this submission window, which was month of May, and I feel like I had a pretty good piece for that. It came out to a little over 7,000 words, longer than I was originally intending, and of course, working all that out alongside my other writing also ate up a big chunk of time. On top of that, I have been I wrapped up one of my feedback projects. I believe I mentioned that in the previous blog. I'm looking at another large one coming down the pipe soon that I'm going to have to be working on, and I have a smaller one that I'm currently getting through. Not really a novel length feedback project, but I'm currently doing some reviewing and offering some editorial thoughts on one other thing. So, been fairly busy with that. Also, I have been I like to review novels on my review channel, Art Table Talk, and they're more time consuming than reviewing something like a comic. I think the majority of the reviews I have on there. But I'm trying to bust through my TBR at a slightly faster rate. I would say I go through, um, fiction wise, I probably go through a work of fiction every 2 weeks these days. I do a lot more nonfiction reading than I used to in the past. Um, so, part of that's probably getting older. I'm more interested in what's going on around me. Um, and I've always had an interest in history and things like that. So I read a little bit of that here and there as I have time. But yeah, it has kept me away from fiction a little bit more than I used to in the past. Also, I don't work at a library anymore. I used to work at a library, so it made finding new books that I was interested in easier. And if it was a lot more mainstream stuff. That's all beside the point. I am reading more, and I think that, like most writers, I find myself in a kind of a cycle where there are times when I write less and I read more, and there are times when I write more and I read less. And I'm coming off of a cycle where I was not reading a whole lot. I was doing a lot of writing. I think I'm beginning to tilt in the other direction right now, which is fine. I'm just not doing quite as much as I have in the last 6 months or so, I would say. Maybe even the last year, although the year had other slow spots in it. I think right now I'm kind of recharging for another sprint, although I do fully intend to finish this installment of the Stereo Saga before I take my foot off the gas a bit more and look more at editing and other things like that. All in all, I think I'm doing pretty well on the writing front. Um, I hope to continue bringing you chapters of the Sidereal Saga until that is wrapped up. Currently, based on, I haven't actually written all of it, but at the pace things are going and with the outline that I have, I suspect that will be sometime around the end of July or possibly early August. That's pretty much all I got to report. It has been about a month since I last recorded one of these, but a lot of it is just plugging away at things. That's pretty easy to summarize. I'm not sure if I will continue to do these weekly. I may go to bi-weekly, just because it feels like moving a bit slower in the last month or so than I have the last year. We'll see. Um, who knows? I may come back to you next week with a ton to report. But in the meantime, let me know what you think down in the comments below. There's a like button and a subscribe button down there. You can use those as you see fit. And I'll talk to you later.